Hey, Myf.
Hi, Alan. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. I can see you're drinking a tea there.
Yeah, last week it was wine. This, well, look, it could be wine, but it's not. Um,
It could be.
Now, speaking of last week, I need
Yeah.
an update because, previously on us talking, it ended up with a scrap between Steve the cat
Mm.
and Vivian the dog
Yep.
underneath the table.
Yep.
Did it escalate?
Look, it never escalates. It gets to a point and one retreats. So it's just like a constant state of tense anxiety between cat and dog around his house. And all she wants to do is be friends. But poor old Steve, he's just had enough. He's like, my life is it's just changed forever, and I just feel for the poor fella. And also, I'm turning into a mad dog lady. I meant to show you these last week, and I'm a little bit worried because I've always been a mad cat lady.
Hmm.
And I've had a dog previously, but I didn't go mad with the dog accessories. But I got the collar, that one. I mean, I don't even have jewels with that much sparkle on them, do I? That's for her. And you know what I've bought myself? This is embarrassing.
What?
Okay. It's a dog owner's bum bag. So you put your little dog treats and like poo bags in. I've become that lady, Alan. I am that lady.
Look, I don't want to confirm.
I'm into it. I'm into it. You could wear it like a Dolce & Gabbana bum bag because bags are back. It's just for dog owners.
I don't want to confirm your worst fears, Myth, but you are a crazy dog lady.
I'm just a crazy lady, I think. I think it's time I just accepted it. I'm a crazy lady.
Oh my God, where do you get things like that?
Look, the shops are full of them. It's waiting for people like me. They're just going, come on, give me your money. Ridiculous thing that you never thought you'd buy, you're here. Give me your money.
Is it the sort of shop where when you walk in, you've only walked in for one reason, which is to buy ridiculous things for your dog, and they're like, she's in, we're taking her money.
Yeah. You might as well just drop your credit card at the door and say, fleece me, I'm ready. I'm ready to take. Have you seen, this is what my friend gave me too. And she looks smashing in this. It's a jacket for the cold.
Tell me that's not an actual skin.
It's not an actual skin, no, of course not. But she's, she's leopard while we're out walking.
Oh my God. So you're out, let me get this straight. You're out walking and the dog has a sort of weird Swarovski Diamante collar on, a leopard print coat, and you are toting a dog bum bag.
Dog owner's bum bag, that's right.
Poo bags in it.
Poo bags and treats. Yeah, that's me now. This is my life now, Alan.
And you go outside like this.
I go outside like this and with no shame. Be what you want to be. You do you, boo. That's what they say. That's what the kids say now.
Now, this is a very important question because I'm concerned and I feel like I've never been involved in an intervention, but I feel that this might be the time. Are you wearing actual shoes or Ugg boots when you go walking the dog?
Not yet, but I plan to as it gets much, much colder. So that'll be it. I just say goodbye. Say goodbye to the old me. Say hello to the new fabulous, crazy animal lady that's sort of reeks remotely of cat pee and has a feral dog.
Well, I haven't got you a birthday present yet, and it was several weeks ago. But I know exactly what to get you now, which is a velour tracksuit.
I would actually love it. I'd love it.
Yeah, oh yeah. And I'm sure you can get velour tracksuits that don't attract dog hair. So
that's even better.
You can just slip on with your Uggies before you go out with the dressed up dog and the dog owner's bum bag.
Yeah. Perfect.
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
You're living the life, aren't you?
I'm living the dream. And this is my future and I'm embracing it. Just totally 100% embracing it. How's your week been, Alan? What have you been up to?
Well, the week the kids have gone back to school, the older kids. So the grade 3s and above. So the delivery was on Tuesday. And so what the school has done is they have 3 entrances, and they've got staggered arrival and departure times. And so that's just to keep things easier and keep the teachers, it's all about the adults. They're not trying to physically make the kids physically isolate, because it's just a hiding to nothing. And on the first day, the entrance that Daisy goes in is just a normal sort of gate in a wire mesh fence. And so they're all standing out there, the kids, just waiting, and half of them have got their bikes, and they've got their guitars on for practice, and they're really excited to be back. And one of the teachers comes out, and she's got her clipboard to just make sure that everyone who's meant to be coming in there is coming in there. And she said, all right, now everybody with bikes follow Vicky. Now, the thing about kids is they hear what they want to hear. And they heard the word everybody, and then they stopped listening, and they just stormed the gate. It was like a medieval movie featuring Orlando Bloom. So everyone looked really cool, and they had their winter gear on, but they were just storming a hole in a castle. And then the teacher went, okay, stop. Everyone with bikes come in first. Well, then all the bikes just stormed the gate. And there's just like all these bikes are locked together in the gate, and everyone's pushing their bikes, and then all the bikes go back. One boy with a guitar had decided that was a bike, and he just charged in by himself. And so then they was in a situation, that classic one of, no, you go first. No, please, after you. No, you first. And then just all went at the gate again with their bikes.
Oh.
And the parents, it was so, everyone was feeling good. The kids were feeling good that they were back. Yeah. The teachers were feeling good. The parents were feeling good. And we're just watching, we're thinking, they may never get into the school.
This is our dream of getting them out of the house is over.
Like we've got them all this way to the school. Well, it's not a huge distance, but we've got them to school. And now perhaps the gate is too small.
To let them all back in.
Yeah, and then we finally got them in, and the teacher said, right, go and put your bikes in the bike shed, and then come back here. But there was some wires got crossed, and then the kids with the bikes, the other kids left, the kids who had put their bikes away came back and were standing by the gate waiting for the teacher. And they said, where is the teacher? And we went, well, she went that way. And they went, okay, and they said, is it our fault? And I said, what do you mean? And they said, we were told to come back here. And I said, no, it's not your fault. So they ran off, and one of them said to me, I'm telling the teacher you said it wasn't our fault. And I went, okay. And I saw the teacher when they were releasing them.
You got dogged on, Alan.
Yeah, well, she said to me, what wasn't their fault? I had 5 kids telling me, Daisy's dad said it wasn't our fault. And I said, well, they came back to where you had told them to go. And she said, I wondered where they had gone. So they all got in and they all stayed in. There was a great moment where some of them were in and some of them were waiting to come in. And some of them were inside holding onto the mesh fence like this.
Let me in.
Like jail, like some of them had just done 30 days in the hole. And they were finally let back into the general population of the prison. And people were going, oh, how was the hole? Oh, it was awful. But yeah, so things are getting slightly less chaotic, but it's great. Like the teachers have done an amazing job. And it's a bit confusing if you've got 2 children and they go in different entrances at different times. And come out different entrances at different times. Like there's a lot of parents just wandering the perimeter of the school, hoping to find their child. And the children are coming out and going, where's Dad? And you go, I think he went that way. And they just go, ugh.
Just wait for him to do another lap.
Yeah. And they say, I told him where I was coming out. And he comes back and he said, well, you told me the other one. They went, no, I really didn't. And when a child tells you that they've told you something, it doesn't matter whether they've told you. They look at you like
you're the worst.
You are wrong. So,
right.
Yeah.
Even if they've told you the wrong thing.
Oh yeah, if they've told you the wrong thing, they look at you like they look at you like you're even wronger.
Right.
There's an inversely proportionate ratio to how that if they told you the wrong thing, they try as hard as possible to make you believe that you got it wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
So look, but it's been great. Bar the fact that there was a few injuries from charging the gate.
Yes.
And the teacher almost got bowled over, but that was with love. Things have,
Do you feel a little bit lost though this week, not having a job like that, because it was so full on and it took up a lot of your time? Do you feel a little bit like it's you miss it a bit?
I'd love to say yes, but not at all.
No.
And there hasn't been a lot of separation anxiety between parents and children from what I can see.
Well, the charging at the gate explains all.
Well, that's it. Like, basically, it was like they were running away from us and they didn't care how small the hole that they had to run through was. They were getting away.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of waving behind, just going, see ya, as they walked away from you. And you're going, bye. And they're going, yeah, right.
Whatever.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I'll see you later.
See you when I see you.
Yeah. So, no, there hasn't, because I think a lot of people have a lot of stuff that they have to catch up on.
Yeah,
so when the kids have gone back, all of a sudden you've got this time to do the things and you're doing them. I've been flat out the last little while just doing things, and it's been it's been great. And also one of the things is there's a reason to leave the house.
Yes.
You've got to get to school. So
that's right.
Make the lunches and you do all the stuff and everything gets done.
Yeah.
So it's been really nice. And what have you been doing?
What have I been doing? Well, I don't know. I tried to put a finger on it and I'm not entirely sure. I've been wasting a lot of time this last week. I think I'm in that period of what is this now? I think we're all a little bit, I feel a bit lost this week because, things are getting back to normal and it's like this kind of security of, even though it was terribly anxious time too, the security of isolation is sort of being lifted. Drove down to the beach and saw my parents. That was nice to catch up with them for the first time in months, and they seemed pretty happy. Happy to not talk to each other, which because isolation's hard with a partner and with a family. Like, you're not meant to spend that much time together. You're just not. I know you're supposed to love them and you do love them, but gee, it's hard. It's hard on all of us. All of that. I think we've had to learn a lot about ourselves.
Yeah.
In that time, which I like.
I imagine that, say you'd been together for 6 months or something and you've just moved in, the isolation might be quite nice.
Yeah.
Because, you're
in the bubble, in the love bubble.
You're in the love bubble. There's a lot of things going on. You would be focusing on each other anyway, and your friends would be calling up and going, oh, since you met such and such, I don't see you anymore.
See you.
Yeah. Why don't you see me? Because, I'll see you soon once we've stopped having sex every 20 minutes. So, but if you've been married for, let's say, 48 years, and suddenly you're forced to spend 3 months locked down together.
24 hours a day.
24 hours a day. I imagine that that's not how you saw that period of your life being. You would see each other in the morning, you'd go off, play golf, learn to crochet, play more golf, take up macrame again because, you couldn't do it when you had kids.
Yeah.
And then see each other at night and have a nice lamb chop and read your book and go to bed.
See, that explains why all the boomers were so desperate to get the golf back on the agenda. I get it now. Yeah, because just hanging out with partners 50 years on in the marriage it's not ideal. Not ideal at all.
And I imagine that putting a small ball on the ground and hitting it as hard as humanly possible with a large club would have been the release that many women and men needed in their lives. And I imagine that consciously or subconsciously they saw the face of their spouse on the ball and just smacked the shit out of it and watched it fly away. And wouldn't have cared if it had gone in the bush or the water. They just wanted it away.
I've got to say, my mum plays golf, and she did say she had the best game she's had in a long time, the first game back. She said it was amazing, and now I know the real reason. Nancy? It went downhill after that, she said, but the first game back just smashed it out of the park, and that explains why.
I was talking to a friend of mine. He's been married for quite a long time, and it was his wife's birthday, and he said, and you know, they're in that part of their relationship where you just say, "What do you want?" And that's it. You know, that's a nice thing because they get what they want, and you know that they know you well enough to go, "I want what I want, and you will get it for me," and that's great. He said, "So what do you want for your birthday?" And she said, "A punching bag." Now, she had previously expressed nil interest in any of the arts martial that used the punching bag. So he purchased online a punching bag, and you can only imagine the hilarious delivery of the punching bag. The guy came down and he said, "I know things are meant to be contactless, but I don't know what you've ordered, mate, but you have to come and give me a hand. It weighs..."
I can't lift it.
So then he rigged it up in the garage on one of the rafters, and he's not a handy person. He has a lot of skills. He discovered that hanging a punching bag was not one of them. So, but he finally got it hung up because, of course, he couldn't ring a friend who he knew who was handy because they're locked down.
Of course.
So he finally hangs the punching bag up, and he said, "I wrapped it. Once it had hung up, I got paper and wrapped it round it and put a bow round it."
Oh, that's nice.
No, I thought that was amazing. And I said, "Oh, she would have loved that." He said, "She just started punching it without unwrapping it."
She was so keen to get into it.
Yeah.
Like a kid at a birthday party smashing a pinata to get the lollies out. She was in.
Yeah, he got her gloves as well, but she just went bare knuckle, like old school, just punching the bag really hard. And then she said, "Oh, my hands really hurt." And he said, "That's why I got you boxing gloves." And she said, "Oh, that's really nice of you." And the paper and the ribbon were just in tatters lying on the floor.
As a symbol of their love.
Yeah.
I love that.
Now he said, while he's working inside, he just hears this repetitive thudding, like 3 times a day.
Oh.
And he said things that, like, she's feeling a lot better about herself. And is also, by the end of lockdown, is almost ready for competitive cage fighting. So I think he said I think she's gonna like go away for a weekend, come back heavily tattooed, and say that she's got her first bout.
He's ready. Well, some people needed an isolation hobby. She found hers. That's
yeah, exactly. Mixed martial arts.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
No rules. Kick any part of the body, anywhere you like. Go for it.
And I think that he realised that when she said punching bag, it was either going to be an actual punching bag or he was going to get it at some point.
Yeah.
So he went online and quickly found a punching bag.
Who sells punching bags? Do we go? I mean, I've never done that before. You just go to some, I guess, sport store.
Yeah, I imagine you do. Or I know that there are like mixed martial arts stores where you buy things to do with mixed martial arts. Obviously, I'm not an aficionado of either martial arts or what you mix them with. I don't imagine you're mixing them with, for instance, gin. But some sort of martial arts cocktail where one part gin and a guy who kicks other people. Put them in a shaker, and so I think you can buy like nunchucks.
Ooh, are they even legal?
Again, not a thing I've ever really encountered. I can't imagine they're legal, but
No.
who knows? I mean, you can buy almost anything you want.
Yeah, you can.
So, but I imagine there's probably some sort of boxing store. Like,
specialist boxing store.
yeah, exactly. Or like punching.com.au.
I'm going to look that up.
Well, Myf, if it isn't a thing, you should buy that domain name. Yeah.
Oh, it's cheap domains. It's not available. It's available.
Punching.com.au is available.
Yeah. Let's see. Punching. We can do it. Not that we condone violence in any way, shape, or form, but there you go. We can have that one if we want.
Well, no.
No one else wants it.
And I reckon what it is it's a place where people can post videos of them punching things that aren't people or animals.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, like you can punch a tree and finally you can show the world.
Punching.com. That's it. That's an idea. That's something we can take out of this.
I think so.
I like it.
Let's start. I mean, look, there's crying and eating websites.
That's true.
Yeah. Oh, punching and eating. Punching.com.au. Like,
not punching anyone. No other humans involved in this.
No. Punching your food.
That's satisfying. A cake.
Yeah. Yeah, like just punching food. So there's like crying and eating. There's people take photos of all their like milkshakes and shit and put them on Instagram. So why not have a website called Punching and Eating where someone just got food in front of them and like particularly at a restaurant and they just start punching it.
It's niche, but I think you're onto something.
Look, if the internet's good for anything, it's niche. And I think if people went, mate, there's a website called Punching and Eating. What do? Well, you get some food and you punch it. Okay. And someone films you. All right. You know, I mean, obviously people will pick some inappropriate things like fondue and just put it in their hand.
Yeah. Well, you get what you deserve, really, if you're going to go and punch a fondue set because they're precious. They're from the 70s and you don't want to wreck those.
No, you don't. And things from the 70s were made to be punched.
That's right.
So, like, it might get a ding in it, but you're going to break your hand.
Yeah.
And you don't want to go into work and everyone says, mate, what did you do? Oh, I punched a fondue set. Oh, have you seen that thing, Punching and Eating? Yeah, that's why I did it.
I was trying it.
Yeah, I know. So punching and eating. Or
I think
eating and punching.
Eating and punching. Either way, it's got a zing to it, Alan. I like it.
Yeah. So, and, you know, there'd be different like parts of the website. So if you're a vegan and you didn't want to see people punching meat, you could just go to a section where there's someone just pummeling black bean patties. Or like torturing legumes. I don't know what people do.
Flapping tofu.
Yeah, tofu would be great to punch.
Yeah.
Like throw that silken tofu up in the air and then just punch it in midair and it just goes everywhere.
Oh, I'm into it.
You know, and one of the things I like about saying things that other people are going to hear is that there's probably going to be someone who's going to look up and go, well, Punching and Eating's available as well. I'm on it.
Yeah, I reckon.
And I hope that if one thing comes out of you and I chatting online, it's firstly that Lips and Arseholes becomes a regular thing. Because I think that I've never felt more beautiful than when
you look beautiful. I never asked you about the end result. Did you see the end result? Did you did you feel that you'd become the person that you wanted to express at that point in time?
You know what? I did, because one of my greatest desires was to look like a sex worker from 1981 in King's Cross. And I felt like I achieved that with your guidance. And if anyone missed Lips and Arseholes, it was a makeup tutorial where Myf told me how to apply makeup. Unfortunately, I had to take my glasses off, so I couldn't see exactly what I was doing.
You also didn't have a mirror either. So
no, look, it could have been more precise, but I liked the overall effect.
I am so happy that I could facilitate and accommodate with your beauty requirements.
Yeah. And look, I didn't even know I had beauty requirements, but I now know that I do. And I think we're going out on Friday night, and I've said, well, I'm going out with a full face on. Now, that's been resisted.
Has it?
Yeah. But
that's okay. That's okay. You can try any time.
I need to feel the way I want to feel, Myf, and you've helped me discover that.
Good. I'm so glad.
Yeah. But the other thing that I would like to come out of this is that one day we're just browsing the internet and go, oh, look, punchingandeating.com.au. And we...
If anyone tuned in right now, we are okay. We're not condoning violence of any kind.
No, we're not like, it's not like punching people who are eating. No.
No. Very, very different.
Food.
Oh dear. You're right though. The internet throws up some of the best stuff. Have you seen the Tom Morello stuff that's come up in the last couple of days? He of Rage Against the Machine.
No.
Oh, this is genius. Because of all the Black Lives Matter stuff that's going on in America, obviously, Rage Against the Machine have always been hugely outspoken about that situation in America and the world. Like they've made no bones about it whatsoever. And this bloke called Scott Castaneda has sent a message to Tom Morello on Twitter, and he said, "I used to be a fan until your political opinions come out. Music is my sanctuary, and the last thing I want to hear is political BS when I'm listening to music. As far as I'm concerned, you and Pink are completely done. Keep running your mouth and ruining your fan base." Right? So this is what this person's
I like how Tom Morello from Rage Against the Machine and Pink.
And Pink has been quite outspoken as well in terms of the Black Lives Matter movement, and saying if my fans don't believe in this, then I don't want them as fans. Like, she's been very outspoken, which is, pretty amazing in America, which is going through so much at the moment. But she's done that. So they've lumped them together, first and foremost, Rage Against the Machine and Pink. But I just wonder what on earth he thought that they were raging against. Like, if it wasn't the system and the systemic racism and the systemic sexism and all of those things, what did he think that the band were doing? This bloke, little Scott.
Maybe he thought it was actual machines. Maybe he thought they're like Luddites, like smashing looms. And maybe he thought their anger was directed at, for instance, food processors or like motors or sewing machines. And when he discovered that the machine was a synecdoche or a menonym or whatever you call it for, like the system, he was shocked because he too doesn't like food processors. But now he's just, his whole world has fallen to bits.
Fallen to bits.
The Venn diagram of people who like Rage Against the Machine and people who like Pink, that intersection must be quite small.
But it must be quite something going on in the middle there. I'm not entirely sure what.
So, I mean, in some ways I feel sorry for misguided Rage Against the Machine fans and Pink fans who are now just a ball of confusion.
Yeah.
Not only is there a pandemic, but they misunderstood two acts that were very important to them. And they're just they're on the horns of a dilemma. Who do they like now?
Well, who is there left? Because Tom Morello has piped up and said to Scott, this is his reply on Twitter, he said, "What music of mine were you a fan of that didn't contain political BS? I need to know so I can delete it from the catalogue." Isn't that gorgeous?
It's not like they did a cover album of like Dionne Warwick songs.
No.
Like or Rage Against the Machine's tribute to Tom Jones.
No. It's
Or,
not unusual.
exactly. Or Thank You for Being a Friend by James Taylor, given the Rage Against the Machine, treatment, and it's now called Fuck You for Being a Friend.
Fuck you for being a friend.
Got quite a good ring to it, hasn't it?
That's actually, I quite like that one.
And they do it as a duet with Pink.
There you go.
Yeah,
that's a great one. If that's what comes out of this time, I'd be pretty happy with that. Rage Against the Machine and Pink duetting on "Fuck You for Being a Friend."
Myf, our work here is done.
It is. Thank you. Thanks again.
We've given people more than enough suggestions to get on with.
That's right, and that's the whole point of this.
Yeah, and exactly. And if Tom Morello and Pink, if you're watching, then A, weird, but B, fuck you for being a friend. See you next week, Myf.
See ya.